So back in September, I recorded part one of this type of video for my channel. And I just want to show off things a little bit more. This is the entrance to the secret nerd basement where I happen to have all of my stuff. And you'll recall from the previous video that there are shelves with a few of my things. Once we're down the creaky stairs, you can already see some of the paraphernalia that I've got out. And when you get down here, you'll see things have expanded a little bit. You'll see here some leftovers as well as at the beginning from Photon of Kenilworth, where I used to work many years ago. I have two of the three signs, Earthport Observation Deck and Red Squadron. The Green Squadron sign, from what I understand, is destroyed, so I'll never be able to complete that part of my collection. Some old wall hanger swords. Full-size shield made for me by a friend of mine, which I've used in a few shows. Combat quality helm. Daggers. Polish cavalry sword. The furred objects with the straps are actually bracers that were used by the centaurs in Hercules and Xena. I have a strap vest that goes with that, which is not on display down here yet until I figure out where to put it. Various belts and sheaths and so forth. One of the glow-in-the-dark Lord of the Rings swords. Dehumidifier, very necessary. One of the first conventions I ever attended back in 1986, and the signatures of every one of the guests. Those of you who are fans of my channel that are old enough will certainly recognize this. And if you've seen the first video, then you'll certainly recognize these shelves as well. However, they're a bit more full than they used to be. Quick little tour of some of the changes. 1978 die-cast Millennium Falcon toy, one of the originals. It was a gift given to me when I was little. I still have it. A few other favorites. A few G.I. Joes. A few of the originals, some of the commemoratives. ROM Space Knight figure from the 1970s. Still works, still has all the components, still gets taken out of the box a couple of times a year to be shown off. Indiana Jones figure, missing the gun, still have the whip, arm still works. That display hasn't changed much since the previous video. However, I've now added my collection of Star Wars RPG books and source material. Lots of classic RPGs and magazines. This is a now discontinued Volant design eagle. Love this coat, fits me beautifully, very comfortable. Comes complete with the peaked hood. Very good piece. They're still making Assassin's Creed inspired stuff, but this one's retired. More RPG stuff. I loved a lot of FAS's work when they were around, so I have a good amount of their items. Star Trek, Doctor Who. A lot of original D&D stuff, some of it very old. And yes, like all the classic gamers, my dice go in a Seagram's bag. These shelves you should recognize from the previous video. Bit rearranged, bit more filled out. A few more things out as well. My collection of Doctor Who novels, both the BBC's and the Virgin. More Doctor Who related stuff, Target, a lot of the old source books. Don't see too many of these anymore. My Ren Fair garb, now a bit more taken out of the closet and fleshed out. I was greatly looking forward to wearing this summer, but with the pandemic going on, there's a lot of talk that this will be the summer without a fair. A lot of conventions are getting canceled, and that's sad. I hope all of my friends out there are keeping safe and keeping well. Winged helmet. LARP safe crossbow. Fires at about 35 pounds pull. For us older collectors, you'll recognize the Adventure Team G.I. Joe stuff here. I've got more of these, but they require cleanup and a few of the figures have fallen apart. And these are not recent purchases. These are my toys from when I was a little kid. In the 1970s, yeah, I am that old. These are the ones that so far came out of my mom's attic and have been cleaned up. I plan on fixing up the rest of them. I do have quite a few. Thankfully, they were kept well. Now, a few more additions. So my swords, my suit of armor. Some of this is worn in the earliest video that I posted on my channel a long time ago from the mid-1990s when I was sword fighting. This is still a functional suit of armor, still kept in good shape. And just to show off to the neighborhood, and just because I'm still capable of it, I wore this for the walk for Halloween with the kids this year, swords and all. This is an 80-pound rig, stem to stern. Real armor. The chainmail can stop low-caliber bullets. Not that I want to be wearing it while someone's shooting at me, but still, the protection is legit. Old school Dungeons & Dragons. Collection of Hollow Earth weapons, which we use to better map out some of the combat in the storytelling. And speaking of, the shield is aircraft aluminum. Every single scratch on there is a real sword blow. The two swords closest to it are Baltimore knife and sword. The two swords on the outside are Starfires. One of the first Starfire katanas. This is actually a two-handed katana. I believe the proper term is nodachi, but I could be wrong. This particular Baltimore knife and sword, not only in need of a bit of a polishing due to some of the scratches, it's 25 years old and still going. This one, on the other hand, is less than 5 years old. Very similar design, similar piece. They both fit to the same sheath. And incredibly well balanced, incredibly well built, and I can't not recommend BKS or Starfire enough. They've been my weapons makers of choice for a long, long time, and I've been enjoying making use of these. Turning it around a bit. This is one of my oldest Starfires. 1.5-handed ridged broadsword. This thing has been doing me good service forever and a day. Still trying to learn how to play that damn guitar. Oh, and for those wondering, here at my work desk, toys aplenty. So, Secret Nerd Basement's flushing out, and the dog says hi.